Welcome to Sterling Sports. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite NFL win totals. We're going to be looking at the Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Arizona Cardinals. Be sure to drop a like, and if you want to, subscribe to the channel. Of course, this is not financial advice. If you're able to bet legally out there, be sure to place at your own risk. So if we just get into it here, the Cowboys here, why I like their schedule so much, they do have these 6 home games, and I do like their odds of winning these. Expect the Eagles to struggle this year, so we'll give them 1, 2 versus the Panthers. Might split versus the Giants, but I wouldn't be surprised if we sweep both the Giants and the Eagles. So I do expect a split, possibly versus the Redskins for sure, though. So if we just go ahead and give a win here, 3, 4 versus the Broncos as well. We'll say they drop 1 versus the Falcons. Not expecting them obviously to go undefeated at home. So there's not a 5 there for against the Raiders. I do expect to win here. I do expect a split, as I did state, but we'll give them the win at the Cowboys. So 6. Expect a loss here versus the Cardinals. Cardinals are actually one of my sleeper picks for possible Super Bowl contenders. So we'll be doing a video on that. And of course, we're looking at the Arizona Cardinals schedule today as well. So we'll chalk this up as a loss. So 6 wins here for the Cowboys at home. And then if we go ahead and move on to their away, I wouldn't be surprised if they do win this game versus the Bucks, because emotions are high with the ring ceremony and so on and so forth. But we'll chalk it up as a loss. So we'll give them 7 here. 8. Remember, you're looking for 9. This might be a pretty tough stretch here. We'll see how things go, but we'll give them a loss here. You're basically just looking for 2 more to hit your over. Keep that in mind. Loss probably versus the Chiefs. Things kind of could get pretty wonky here with your two Thursday back-to-back games, but I do expect them to beat the Saints as well. So let me make sure. 6, 7, 8, 9. So right there, you're hitting your total. We'll say they lose 1 here, and then you're basically looking for your win versus your Giants or your Eagles. And I want to be surprised if they win both. Got to be careful as you get into your later weeks with people sitting, depending on where you're sitting as far as playoff seating and so on and so forth. But would not be surprised if you see 10 to 11 wins here on the low end for the Cowboys. So of course, just my opinion could, but as you could tell, if it was kind of a toss-up game, went ahead and gave them a loss in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys do see an over of 9. If we get to the Steelers now here, we'll kind of keep the same kind of outlook. If it's a toss-up, go ahead and chalk it up as a loss. That's the best way to view these things in my opinion. Looking to get over your 8.5 for your Steelers. So if we look here, Bills might be a pretty tough one, and it's at the Bills. We'll go ahead and chalk it up as a loss. Get 1 versus the Raiders, 1-1. 1-2. Packers should be pretty salty this year as well. Will not count it up as a win. Do expect a win versus the Broncos. This will be win number 3. And then we will expect not a win here, just to kind of keep it realistic. 1, 2, 3. I won't have to keep doing that, I promise. So 4 versus the Browns, I do expect. Might split, but I wouldn't be surprised if his sweep happens here. 4, 5 versus the Bears, 6 versus the Lions, 7 versus the Chargers, 8 versus your Bengals. Might split versus the Ravens, but we'll give the Steelers the win at home. So there's your 8th. 9th versus the Vikings. Might be pretty tough versus the Titans and the Chiefs, so we won't move it here. As I said, could split versus the Browns, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did sweep them here. So that would put you at your 9 and still could get a win here versus your Ravens. So I wouldn't be surprised if once again your Steelers are sitting around your 10 to 11s. That's why I think getting it at 8.5 is pretty nice. The 9 is tougher for me a little bit, because as you could see, we had quite a bit of toss-ups, but I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Seahawks as well, which was one of the games that we gave a toss-up. So as I said, kind of I do expect 10 to 11 wins out of the Steelers as well. 9 on the very low end. So if you can get it at that 8.5, I think it's pretty juicy. So if we move along quickly here to your Cardinals, the Titans might be a pretty tough one, but we'll go ahead and chalk it up. I'd say a tough one at home at the Titans, and I do expect the Cardinals to kind of be pretty rocking and rolling this year. As I said, one of my favorites for the Super Bowl picks. Oh, I forgot my tidbit on the Cowboys. We'll be making a prop bets later, but just go ahead and get it out to the people. Look at your a nice little specialty would be your Micah Parsons for your defensive rookie of the year. So moving back onto the Cardinals, sorry about that. 1 win versus the Titans, 2 versus the Vikings, 3. We'll say they split versus the Rams. Worst case, so they lose this one, so we're still sitting at 3. 49ers, depending on who they got starting at this point, things could get pretty interesting, but not expecting too much out of the Niners this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus the Browns, 6 versus the Texans. Probably can't beat the Packers. 7, would not be surprised if they did, though. 8 versus the Panthers. Probably split versus the Seahawks, so we will keep it there. 8 versus the Bears, as I said, most likely split, but we gave the Rams the one earlier in the year, so I believe that's 9, right? If not, here's 9, 10, and we did give them the win versus the Cowboys 11, and then there's your Seahawks where we did give the split already. So as you can see here, I do expect them once again to get to around your 10 to 11 wins, but 9 on the very low end. Quite a few toss-up games. Just to kind of run back through it here quickly. Again, 1, 2, 3. Make sure I didn't get it wrong. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9. Don't split. 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so I mean, I really like that Cardinals pick at 8.5. Honestly, that's probably one of my favorite ones running back through it quickly there. But yeah, like I said, I like all three of these quite a bit. Full transparency, Cowboys is one of my favorite teams, but I try to keep it pretty realistic. I'm not one of those people who's like, Cowboys are going to win it all and so on and so forth. But I do like the Cowboys' chances if they stay healthy and things kind of play out as I do expect this season. I think they got a lot of aspects going on. But I do think like the Cardinals' chances as well for your Super Bowl sleeper and maybe your Steelers coming out of your AFCs. But your Chiefs and Buccaneers will also be pretty salty. And as I kind of stated, your Packers as well. We will be coming out with more previews. Be sure to check out that channel intro video as well. It will be left in the description. Be sure to like this video as well, and be sure to subscribe if you like this type of content and want to see more. Also, can leave a comment if you would like to see something specific on the channel. We're new here, but we're gonna get things rocking, putting out a lot of content to get things started. But yeah, I will see you guys next time.